Have you ever wondered what drives a malevolent force to trap innocent souls for its own satisfaction? This chilling question introduces us to the unseen antagonist of Dead by Daylight, a force known simply as the Entity. This entity is not your typical villain. It doesn't lust for power or wealth. It's driven by an insatiable hunger. A hunger that's only satiated by the sacrifice of trapped souls within its nightmarish realm. It's like an interdimensional spider, spinning a web of trials where it ensnares both survivors and killers. Yes, you heard right. The entity doesn't discriminate between the innocent and the guilty. It feeds off the hope of survivors, ordinary folks who find themselves trapped in this terrifying game of cat and mouse. Their only goal? To escape the killing grounds by repairing generators and powering up exit gates. But they're not alone. In this realm, the entity also traps killers, beings that were once human but are now twisted into monstrous forms. These killers are the entity's hunting dogs, driven to sacrifice the survivors to their insatiable master. And this is where the game's asymmetrical nature comes into play. Dead by Daylight is a 4 versus 1 affair, with 4 survivors desperately trying to outwit and outrun one relentless killer. But here's the kicker. There's no real winning in this game. The survivor's goal is to escape the trial alive, but even that's not guaranteed. You see, the entity feeds off both hope and despair. The hope of survivors clinging to the chance of escape, the despair of those caught and sacrificed. In the entity's realm, the rules are simple. Survive or be sacrificed. Outwit or be outplayed. But remember, the entity is always watching, always hungry. And in this realm, survival is the only victory, and victory is never guaranteed. What would you do if you were trapped in a nightmarish trial with only your wits and will to survive? This chilling question forms the backbone of each trial in Dead by Daylight, an adrenaline-fueled test of cunning, stealth, and teamwork. Imagine yourself in the shoes of a survivor. You're one of 4, thrust into a dark and dangerous realm with a singular objective: escape. Your tools are as rudimentary as they are crucial. Generators scattered around the killing grounds. Repairing these generators powers up the exit gates, your only hope for freedom. But beware, your efforts to repair are not silent, and every noise could potentially attract the dreaded killer. Now picture yourself as the killer, a horrifying entity with a singular chilling goal. Hunt down the survivors and offer them as sacrifices to the entity. As the killer, you stalk the killing grounds with deadly intent. Each heartbeat, every rustling leaf could lead you to your prey. And when you find them, the chase begins. A heart-pounding pursuit where the slightest misstep could turn the hunter into the hunted. In this deadly game of cat and mouse, strategy is key. As a survivor, do you risk rushing repairs and alerting the killer, or do you bide your time, staying hidden in the shadows? As the killer, do you focus on one survivor, or do you strike fear into all, spreading chaos and dread? But remember, in these trials, there's no definitive victory. As a survivor, you may escape the killing grounds, but you're never truly free. The entity feeds off your hope, your relief at surviving another day. As the killer, your sacrifices feed the entity, but they also feed your own monstrous hunger. An insatiable desire for the thrill of the hunt, the satisfaction of a successful sacrifice. In the entity's trials, hope and despair are 2 sides of the same coin. So whether you're a survivor, clutching at the threads of hope, or a killer reveling in the despair of your prey. Remember, in Dead by Daylight, survival isn't just a game, it's a trial. Can you imagine a world where a thick fog blurs the line between reality and nightmare? Welcome to the entity's realm, a world where your senses deceive you and your fears are amplified. Here, a dense fog blankets the landscape, turning the simple act of seeing into a terrifying game of hide and seek. The fog serves a dual purpose. On one hand, it obscures your vision, masking the lurking dangers and hiding the path to freedom. It's a shroud that conceals both the hunter and the hunted, creating a tense atmosphere charged with uncertainty. On the other hand, the fog is the entity's domain, a manifestation of its power and control over its victims. It's a constant reminder that you're playing by the entity's rules, in a world designed to feed its insatiable hunger. Navigating this foggy realm is like walking through a dream from which you desperately want to wake up. In the fog, every step could be your last. Who are these brave souls that dare to challenge the entity's trials? The fascinating world of Dead by Daylight isn't just about an omnipresent malevolent entity or the chilling trials it orchestrates. It's also about the intriguing characters that populate this nightmarish realm. These characters, both survivors and killers, hail from various backgrounds and fictional universes, each with their own unique lore and abilities. Let's start with the survivors. They're not just ordinary folks. Each survivor comes equipped with a set of unique skills, or perks, that can aid in their desperate attempt to escape the killing grounds. From the determined Meg Thomas with her athletic prowess, to the cunning Dwight Fairfield, whose leadership skills can rally his fellow survivors. Each character adds a different dynamic to the game. On the other side of the spectrum, we have the killers. These aren't your run-of-the-mill boogeymen. They are terrifying, powerful beings with a singular purpose: to hunt down the survivors and offer them as sacrifices to the entity. From the nightmarish nurse who can blink through obstacles to the terrifying trapper who uses bear traps to ensnare his victims, each killer brings a unique brand of fear to the trials. What's more, Dead by Daylight keeps things fresh and exciting by frequently adding new characters to the game. These additions expand the game's lore and offer new strategies for both survivors and killers. Whether it's a survivor from a forgotten era or a killer from a different dimension, every addition enriches the game's lore and keeps players on their toes. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of these characters is the mystery that surrounds them. The game doesn't spoon-feed you their stories. Instead, it allows you to piece together their pasts and motivations through character lore entries and in-game quotes, adding another layer of depth to the gameplay. In Dead by Daylight, every character has a story waiting to be discovered. And as you delve deeper into these stories, you'll find that they are as captivating and chilling as the game itself. What secrets lie behind the fog waiting to be unraveled? The realm of Dead by Daylight, much like its inhabitants, is shrouded in enigma. This is a world where the ordinary meets the extraordinary, where the known is consumed by the unknown. The origins of the entity and the realm itself remain an elusive puzzle. Is the entity a god, a demon, or something else entirely? How did this realm come to be? These questions are left unanswered, adding a layer of mystery that keeps players intrigued and hungry for more. But the enigma doesn't stop at the realm or the entity. The characters, both survivors and killers, have their own hidden pasts that are as diverse as they are intriguing. These backstories are not handed to you on a silver platter. Instead, they are subtly woven into the game, waiting to be discovered. Whether it's the tragic tale of a survivor who lived a life of hardship before being thrown into the trials, or the chilling past of a killer who was once a victim themselves, each backstory adds depth to the characters and their motivations. These narratives are often dark, sometimes tragic, but always fascinating, adding another dimension to the adrenaline-fueled gameplay. Players can piece together these backstories through character lore entries and in-game quotes. Each snippet of information is like a piece of a jigsaw puzzle, slowly revealing the bigger picture. This indirect storytelling encourages players to engage with the game on a deeper level, fostering a sense of connection with the characters and the world they inhabit. The lore of Dead by Daylight is not just a backdrop for the trials, but an integral part of the game's appeal. The more you play, the more you uncover, and the more engrossed you become in this eerie world of survival. In Dead by Daylight, the past is as elusive as the future is uncertain. How does one survive in a world where every corner hides a potential death trap? Welcome to the heart-pounding gameplay of Dead by Daylight. This isn't your ordinary game of cat and mouse. No, this is a high-stakes chase where 4 survivors scramble to outwit one relentless killer. The adrenaline pumps as you fix generators, power exit gates, and dodge a killer's grasp, all while navigating through an obscuring fog. But it's not just about the chase. The lore, the backstory, and the mystery, they all add layers to the game, creating a rich atmosphere that heightens the tension. The entity, the foggy realm, the diverse characters with their unique abilities, they all serve to make the gameplay even more immersive. Yet, at its core, Dead by Daylight is about the thrill of the chase. Your heart pounding, your hands sweating, as you run, hide, and fight for your survival. In Dead by Daylight, your survival depends on your skill, your strategy, and a little bit of luck.